media scam?
I don't know, bro. Like, that's what I was trying to find out.
You know, I never thought in spending time with him that he would be as good of a leader as he is.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about it afterwards, where he's very intentional and purposeful about the culture. When you spoke to, whether it's assistant Jonathan or Justin or Novello and the other people that are on the team, there's very much so a set of core values as far as like empowering leaders, building communities. Ryan tells people what he believes, which I think serves as a magnet where it draws people to him. Yeah. And then it's polarizing. It pushes people away, which is actually a good thing because you're pushing people away that wouldn't vibe with the culture.
It's interesting because we met his personal assistant, Jonathan. Yeah. And what I got from Jonathan was that they were all so in line with what the vision is, and they were all culturally fit. Like, I think they said that 80% of the people that work for them go to the same ministry, which kind of has a certain culture that they all believe in very similar things. It's not like who can get the job done, because there's plenty of people that can do that. It's who can get the job done, but also is a good fit for our company. And it was interesting to me because everybody that we talked to at Pineda Companies was all super friendly, super nice, super inviting, super smart as well too. So overall, great representation of Ryan Pineda himself as well.
And another takeaway was just how committed they are to media, that really they're a media company first. Yeah. And then all the other companies are ancillary to that. And the commitment to media, you know, the amount of money that they invest in equipment, in studios, in multiple different studios, and how they're essentially doing media at scale.
Yeah. What I thought about was, who was Ryan Pineda 3 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Who was he? Like, did anybody know who he was? He was a house flipper.
Well, he's a couch flipper.
Couch flipper. Couch flipper, house flipper. Nobody knew who he was. Right. He was a good business person, was a good operator, yet nobody knew who he was, which kind of leads me to known beats best, because now he became a media company, gave a very heavy emphasis on growing the media companies, where even when we were there was multiple people shooting multiple podcasts at the same time.
Yes, those the platforms and how powerful it is, that in just 3 years, he has garnered so much attention. And I think he told us this past month, he had the biggest month. It was like 20 years of watch time. Yeah. In 1 month, which is unbelievable because the amount of goodwill that you're sending out, because you're adding value, the amount of trust that you're cultivating, where people get to decide if they know, like, and trust you. Yeah, it's impressive, inspiring for sure.
I was proud of myself when I got 48 hours of watch time, like a day.
You thought you were the man.
A day? No, well, the way I looked at it was, you only have 24 hours in a day, and that means that I can't even connect with that many people, because I only have 24 hours. So when I was averaging 48 hours a day, I was like, man, like, people are watching me and I'm like in bed sleeping, and people are consistently watching you. But it's right, you put out so much goodwill, put out so much energy that people become fans. The pattern that I recognized was that people who grew large social media audiences, things became easier for them. Meaning, like, doors were automatically open to people. You know who I'm interviewing in a week? Tom Wheelwright, the accountant for
Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't think had I not had the social media following that I have, I wouldn't be able to book that or have access to that. And it's the same thing with Pineda. Like, he's been able to get people like Hermosi, Grant Cardone, Vaynerchuk, like all these high level individuals, because you have that attention, gravitate towards you. Not only that, but employees as well too. People want to work for you. People will relocate from different parts of the country to come work for you because of the attention that you have as well too.
Yeah. The other takeaway in spending some time with him is that he very much so understands leadership, and how what he's doing now is equipping other leaders, whether it be Justin with Wealthy Creator, Novello with Wealthy Investor, and making them kind of creating opportunities for them within the ecosystem, and then equipping them with what they need to become leaders within the company.
Yeah. He's also not scared to spend money at all. Like, by any means is he not scared to invest $200,000, on an event. He's not scared to invest
$100,000 on equipment.
$100,000 on building out a studio.
Yeah.
Not scared whatsoever.
Yeah.
What I wrote down as it relates to that thought about not being scared is just thinking big.
Yeah, and
he's a big thinker.
Yeah, and what was interesting is when I was on the podcast, we were going back and forth, and I appreciated that. And I said, yeah, like, what I'm thinking is, how can I make $1 million a year residually?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can make $2 million a month.
A month, basically.
Yeah. And the only difference there was active versus kind of residually. At the same time, it just showed the scope of his thinking.
Yeah. Which that's what I wrote down for thinking big. Just somebody that's a big thinker, somebody that is innovating all the time for his companies as well.
Yeah.
Too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Those were my big takeaways.
Yeah, and those are my takeaways. I appreciated the kind of challenge, because he did challenge me on some thoughts as far as like why EXP and why I'm choosing to spend time, and he asked me if it's a productive use of time. So, I encourage you guys to go watch the full episode. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. And it was awesome to be there with him, to learn, because I do believe that was a preview of where your boys are going. That's for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I think he's only a couple steps ahead of us. And it's helpful to have somebody like that in your life that challenges you as well too, because right when I walked in that door, he started,
he got on you, bro.
He's like, hey, what are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? Where are you at with this? Where are you at with that? And it was good, because you need that. You need people like that. And as long as you know it comes from a place of love, it's all good. So make sure to watch that episode of the Aaron Novello interview on that podcast. And he was also on the Wealthy Investor and Wealthy Creator as well too. So make sure to check those out.
Elite Builders out.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, baby.
You actually paid other agents over $120,000 in referral fees in one calendar year?
I did.